last 20 years, there have been projects that have positively reshaped our island forever. And while many have suggestions of various names that they should have, this has not officially been done. St. Martin has experienced tremendous hardship in the past 14 months, and there is little time to celebrate as we continue to rebuild. But perhaps there can be some solace in knowing that these three projects, the boardwalk, the Simpson Bay Fish Market, and the causeway, have significantly impacted and in some cases even protected and served us during these difficult times. The causeway significantly improved our livelihood through the alleviation of traffic congestion and offering an alternative route. The Simpson Bay Fish Market provides a stable source of fresh fish and produce and is a central location for government services, alleviating the need to drive over the hill to Phillipsburg. Most of you would agree that if it was not for the revetment done at the Great Bay Beach where the boardwalk was constructed, many homes would have been washed away. Today, the boardwalk continues to be the envy of many Caribbean islands. These three projects have in common some of our island's most outstanding leaders and innovative thinkers who saw each project from start to finish. Thinking into the future, Commissioner Theodore Heiliger built the boardwalk, which during Hurricane Irma safeguarded hundreds of residential homes and businesses along the Great Bay Beach from erosion. The Honorable Sarah Westcott Williams, now Chair Lady of Parliament, commissioned the construction of the Simpson Bay Fish Market to be a service center for the people of Simpson Bay and the surrounding areas when she was leader of government in the Island Council. She transformed the simple fish stall into a commercial center for the people to access many government services without driving to Phillipsburg. And today, the fish supply is constant and consistent, and it is combined with some of the best local dishes from our top restaurateurs. And while some people called it the causeway, the bridge to nowhere, today it takes everyone almost anywhere in a short time, and an alternative to the traffic congestion coming from the airport. The causeway provides an alternative and some stability in times of chaotic traffic. In this regard, it would be reminiscent of the stalwart Joe Richardson, whose unwavering commitment to the service for country above self and whose vast wealth of knowledge helped to quietly give stability and mentorship to our country, and some of the most outstanding leaders today, such as the current Member of Parliament, Franklin Frankie Myers, who has fittingly recommended that the causeway be named after his mentor. Thus, I will be proposing to have the Causeway Bridge named the Joseph E. Richardson Causeway Bridge, the Sarah Westcott Williams Fish Market, and the Theodore E. Heiliger Promenade, currently referred to as the Boardwalk. As we approach the busy tourist season, my ministry will be organizing a town hall meeting with Phillipsburg vendors to ascertain their grievances and further engage in discussions with them on what they wish to see coming from government to make life simple for them as they navigate through the season. We are also working on plans to improve the image at the lookout flagposts and will be engaging in discussions with the family members that own the property to see how we as government can improve what was created there. We believe that though it may have been ill-timed when it was launched, the initiative has the potential of being one of the most memorable landmarks for visitors if done so correctly. We are considering the addition of 37 steps symbolizing 37 square miles of our island, and we also want to beautify it with greenery and incorporate some benches along with unique access ramps for the physically challenged. We will also find a permanent solution for the constant destruction of our national flag and create some beautiful nightlights so that the area can be something we all can truly be proud of.
we having a function this Christmas season, boy. Festival Village, 8 p.m. December 8th. Come win prizes with family and friends. You don't want to miss this, seeing that it is time for Wally Hamilton Christmas Bingo Spectacular. Festival Village on December the 8th. $10 for you to play, starts 8, so don't be late. Festival Village on December the 8th. Ham and turkey, airline tickets, hotel stays, Christmas goodies, Santa's bag with more to win. Time for Wally Hamilton Christmas Bingo Spectacular. Festival Village on December the 8th. $10 for you to play, starts 8, so don't be late. Festival Village on December the 8th. Yes, folks, the Lion Wally Hamilton Christmas Bingo Spectacular is on Saturday, December the 8th at the Festival Village. Tickets are available at the Lion's Den, at Van Dorp, at Big D Photo Studio, and from all Lion members, going at only $10, $20, or €10. So folks, get your tickets in time. It's going to be quite a spectacular bingo. Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
I'd like to extend a special thanks to Minister Gitterson for helping to expedite the building permit process for the new hospital. I realize that this is a process that normally takes quite a bit of time, but under his leadership, the staff of ROMI, as well as with the assistance of the fire department and the police department, I think have done an excellent job in terms of processing the building permit in a timely manner so that we could go ahead with the projected groundbreaking for the new hospital, which should be in the beginning of December. So his staff is actually, as we speak, furiously stamping documents to hand over to the hospital. So this is actually one of the last conditions that we needed in place to actually break ground and finalize and sign for the construction to start for the new hospital project. Connected to that, actually as part of the World Bank procedures, there is an environmental and social safety management plan. There's a draft plan in place. There is a public consultation round. So that is set for Monday, November 26th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the courtyard of the SMMC. So the idea is that they have a draft environmental plan, and this is open for public review. It is actually on the website of the SMMC, which is www.smmc.sx, as of November 22nd, and it's under the World Bank procurement section. So this is part of our compliance obligations with the World Bank support. And so the project plan, the safety plan, is there for public review, and in this session it's an opportunity for the public to give comments on it. Keeping in mind that the projected construction time for the new hospital is going to be over 4 years, this is also a great time to start preparations for staff requirements. I mean, we're working on the hard part of the hospital, meaning the physical construction of the hospital, but we're equally focused on the soft parts of the hospital, making sure that we have the staff and that the quality standards are there and that the training is there for the staff to make sure that the quality of the services that we offer in the new hospital are up to speed as well. And there's a couple things that are happening already in that regard. And remember, we're looking at adding 100 new staff to the hospital when the hospital is completed. And that'll be a combination of specialists, but also nursing staff, but also administrative staff. We certainly plan on making much better use of ICT possibilities, e-health possibilities, so there's also room for technical jobs at the hospital. But in regards to providing specialists that we're going to need, I'd like to dovetail into something actually the Minister of Education touched on already earlier this week. The American University of the Caribbean is offering St. Martin Partnership scholarships to St. Martin residents, so people who are from St. Martin, residents of St. Martin who are interested in pursuing a career as a physician. The AUC is making a number of positions available in full scholarship for our people to be trained. And again, this is a great project in terms of the timing. It really does allow people to go into the scholarship program and gear up for the jobs that are going to be available with the completion of the hospital. The individual must be residents of St. Martin. They must be accepted by the university. The academic scholarships cover all tuition costs as long as the recipients maintain a satisfactory grade throughout their enrollment at the AUC. Again, in connection with the concept of bringing our own back home to work in our hospital, I'd like to touch on a conference that's happening on the 24th of November called the CARE Caribbean. This is being organized by We Connect and also Asociación Médico de Antillas. So this is the Association for Healthcare Professionals from the former Antilles and Aruba. So there's a conference. Actually, I was invited to the conference but can't make the trip to Holland. Too many things here to do, but the Minister of Plenipotentiary has gladly agreed that she will represent the government in that conference. I understand that SMMC will also have representation there. And really, again, the idea is to encourage those of our people who are studying abroad, who have an interest in coming back to work in the medical profession, how we can streamline that process for them to come back home. As you know, the hospital is part of the ministry's national health reform process. In other words, we have a much broader picture than simply the construction of a new hospital, right? We really are looking very intently at how do we reform our healthcare system, which also includes efforts for prevention.
Hey, Ma. How you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know. You're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact Wib today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you're for.
How, in the National Recovery and Resilience Plan, they want to address our health and our health care. And in that context, part of it is the tariff increase at the St. Martin Medical Center. It's not only the St. Martin Medical Center tariff increase. There are more increases that happened meanwhile with other healthcare providers. And that was silently done. There was no information about that. But SZV is paying the bill. The same SZV and the same Minister Lee that went to government, to Parliament, to inform them about the precarious situation of the healthcare funds at SZV.
The Central Committee meeting, a number of questions was asked to the pension fund based on the fact that they intend to invest in the building of the new hospital. I want to make it emphatically clear for our members that that was not part of the discussions of the reform, how the pension fund is investing and to what extent and where. The only presentation that our members receive under the Minister of Education at that time, the caretaker's cabinet, which was Dr. Anders Urin Wouter, was about the housing project investment. So the be clean and analyzing the questions that Parliament posed to APS on the investment that they're going to be making, guaranteeing certain funds to invest in the building of the new hospital, and the query the hike of the tariffs. How would that be able to pay back the loan that is being granted by the APS?
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Hi, what's up, St. Martin? My name is Rene Leverett, and I play baseball. And I have represented St. Martin in numerous international tournaments and professionally around the world. Sports matters to me because it reveals and develops character. So I challenge the business community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facilities. I also ask the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take the challenge and step up for sports. Because hashtag sports matters, hashtag are you in?
1, 2, 3, 4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness, 1 out of every 4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
With historic industries like salt production long gone, islanders are almost entirely dependent on tourism. Visitors arrive here on the Dutch side aboard international flights or the huge cruise liners that dock in Philipsburg's deepwater port. On the capital seafront, Irma seems a distant memory.
Our main income is from the cruise ships, which we have, because in the season, we have up to like minimum 6 ships, maximum maybe 9 ships in one day. So we cater to more than 10 to 20,000 people in a day. Basically, if you come to St. Martin, you can guarantee you're going to have a good time.
In 2010, the Dutch side of the island became a constituent country of the Netherlands. Unlike the French part, it's outside the EU. Big tourist infrastructure, permissive nightlife, and low-tax shopping pull in the crowds, most of them from the United States.
So far it's been beautiful. Nothing but beautiful beaches, nice people like my man Lenny here.
No, and if you don't get it from Lenny, you don't get it from Annie.
How close to back to normal do you feel you are?
Well, I'll say about like 60%, man. You know, at least a 60-70%. Yeah. They're taking a little more time on the French side. I don't know if it's because of the French government and all that, but it's taking a little more time. It's like nothing's being done.
The Dutch part of the island boasts a GDP twice that of its neighbour. The rivalry between the two goes back centuries. The French side once counted on visitors crossing the open border in search of gastronomy and relaxation. But a year after Irma, the streets of the capital, Marigot, just 11 kilometres from Philipsburg, are quiet. Benedict has lived here since the 1980s. She's what's known as a metro, someone originally from mainland France.
That one's closed, that one I've completely restored, and the one over there's shut.
Thanks to insurance money, Benedict and her husband reopened their boutique just 2 months after Irma. But they remain angry at those involved in the lawlessness that followed the hurricane.
If it hadn't been for the looting, everything would have gone quicker. The looting was hellish.
It killed us.
The whole street behind us was looted, and so was this shop. And the ones over there was nothing left.
It was horrible, like a war zone.
With tourists absent, the couple are relying on local customers, who by and large have less money to spend.
Here's the truth. How many sales have we made today?
5 sales.
Benedict meets her friend Isabelle, who's returned from Canada.
There's hardly any flats left here, and the ones that are, they've doubled the prices.
Isabelle left after Irma, like 8,000 others with the means to do so.
The island will recover little by little.
The problem is the hotels are all still closed. And the cruise line passengers, well, we never see them.
They don't come to Marigot.
The people who lived here are all gone. Look at Isabelle. She went. Does it look like there's anyone here?
There's widespread frustration here that life is yet to return to normal. Much of the criticism is directed at the authorities, both local and in mainland France. After Irma, Paris promised at least 500 million euros in aid. But the president here says most of that was spent on the relief operation rather than reconstruction.
I did receive 50 million for public services, 15 million to repair schools, and 6 million for housing. Is it enough? No, it's not. but that's what we've got. Either you have money to rebuild, or you pick up your suitcase and go looking for it. I've been going to conferences, trying to attract investors to bring more hotels here. How can you expect somewhere that lives 95% from tourism to function if there are no more rooms?
In 2007, Saint-Martin became a French overseas collectivity after voting for more autonomy over its affairs and, crucially, taxes. This is Paris's man in charge of reconstruction in France's hurricane-hit Caribbean islands. He's assessing the recovery ahead of a scheduled visit by French President Emmanuel Macron.
Watch where you put your feet. You see? It's quite striking, isn't it?
Monsieur Gustin says that for the autonomous government here, rights come with responsibilities.
The state can do many things, but it can't be a substitute for the collectivity, which has the means for reconstruction, if not necessarily the equipment. Most tourists won't come here unless the island is clean. If there are still wrecked cars on every street corner, a lot of work still needs to be done. And that's the collectivity's responsibility, to get the island going in the right direction economically.
The collectivity is hoping 800 of a possible 1,300 hotel rooms will be available for the next tourist season. It starts in November. It seems like a tall order, but the island's holiday and building industries have swung into action.